Well, as parts start arriving, we start mocking up stuff. Here's two fenders, 12-inch or 13-inch wide fenders. They look awful big, but they'll start going on the car, and we're starting to get the mock up here. Well, we just set them on there. It's going to give it a pretty unique look. Looks like they're going to match pretty good here in the back. Might be a little bit big. They're going to interfere here with the door a bit, but I could probably mount them like so. It's got just enough for the door to clear there. Anyway, that's another little welding project. I'll get to that later on in this little saga. But putting those big fenders on it is going to make it start looking really good here. Looking at the motor after I cleaned it up the other day and used gasoline and kind of de-oiled it. There was quite a bit of rust on it, but it's light surface rust. It's got a few places where the paint was still there, but I've wire brushed it pretty good here and cleaned it up. I'm going to use this spray rust remover on it now. Yeah, we're going to get pretty close to where I can start painting on it. This stuff here, you just supposed to spray on it. I had an earlier one of the frame. It turns it into some kind of a zinc phosphate or something. But it's supposed to dissolve rust. So far, it's done a pretty good job. You just put it on wet, depending on how thick your rust is. Let it dry or let it soak for half hour apparently for thick rust. And then you wash it off with a hose, let it dry again, and should kill all the rust. Seemed to work on everywhere that I've tried it. So this will just be, it's really not that important to me if it does get all the rust off. All I'm going to try to do is get this motor running. And I'm going to put it all together and get it into the project, get the project running, and then later on, when I get some more money, I'll go ahead and go through these heads and rebuild them. It won't be that much trouble to pull them off once it's inside the car. I just sprayed it all real good down real good with this roadster stuff. Looks like you can see already it's starting to make the rust go away a little bit. Yeah, it seems to be working pretty good. I'll let it soak for a while. Hit it with a brush again, spray it down, and I'll rinse it off with water. And we'll see what happens. Alright, I rethreaded and retapped this block here for a 7/16 head bolt. Now this ought to be super strong compared. You can see the difference in the size of the bolts here. That ought to be seriously strong. Now I can put this frame on, or this motor bracket frame on here, and I can flip this over, rinse it off, and flip it over so it'll drain.